Hi, and welcome back to Mompreneur Diaries. My name is Kayla, and we are going to talk about something very near and dear to my heart right now because I am living it. We're going to talk about how to avoid burnout when you're starting your business, or in my case, restarting the business. So, as some of you may know, I just got back from maternity leave, so I'm just now kind of reevaluating everything to make sure that my business is running the way I needed it to run. Now, previously, when I started my business, I established some things to really just, with my only objective was to make money and to get a business established, get a career established. But now I'm a mom of two, and I've had the time to reevaluate my values, what my priorities are, and I need to have things way more organized. I need to have my business running smoothly enough so that I can spend more time with my family, more time with my personal life, because that's where I want to spend my time. I love my job, but it cannot be the center of my life as it once was. So if you don't want to run into the situation where all of a sudden you need to take a step back from your business for whatever reason, maybe you've started asking yourself that same question, what is it that I want to spend my energy on? You want it to be a little bit more passive, then this is the video for you. So just a little bit of backstory about how I got here. First of all, I've been running my virtual assistant business since 2016, more or less, and it's evolved into what was once just gig work into what is now a business. And at no point had I really needed to make things feel more official as far as my systems and my intentions about things. I'm a go with the flow type of girl. However, I had my second daughter, and when I got pregnant, I quickly realized, okay, how am I going to go on maternity leave with a full business to run? And that business is one employee strong, me, I'm the employee. So I had to start thinking about things. And honestly, I just didn't have the energy to do that, to really get into all that needs to be involved with making your business. It really is scaling your business, right? Making your business function in a more efficient way. I was too pregnant and too tired, and there was just so much else going on. So if you are already a virtual assistant, or you want to be a virtual assistant and you're also considering starting a family, or any other life thing that could come about and kind of flip life on its head or change things around for you, I would highly suggest that you watch this video so that you know what you need to do now while you're not in the chaotic transition phase of your life, so that when those phases come, because they come, the only thing constant in life is change. When they do come, you will be prepared somewhat with your business. Your business won't be the thing that's burdening you on top of whatever else is going on in your life, whether it be pregnancy or just life changes in general. Okay, so before we start, let's talk about burnout. What is burnout? What causes burnout? First of all, burnout is just when you are in a state of overwhelm for some reason within your business, in the context that we're talking about. You might be burnt out because you have too much to do and you don't know how to get it all done. There's not enough time in the day. You might be burnt out because there's a lot of tasks that need to be done and you don't even know how to approach them, or because there's so many tasks to do, you don't know which one to approach first. There's so many different reasons, but you get the idea, right? Burnout, all of these feelings of overwhelm can cause you to get to the point of burnout. It really is just coming from a place of not having some sort of balance in your life, right? Things are never going to be 50-50 or 30-30, no, wait, 33.33, 33.33, 33.33. Why? Anyways, I'm sorry for anybody who had to endure that. That's just, nothing's ever going to be like 100% equal, but having some sort of balance in your life is really important just so you're able to manage it all. So some of the main causes that might cause burnout for a virtual assistant are likely something around you taking on too many tasks, you over delivering or over promising. Over-promising is a bigger deal than over-delivering, because if you're over-promising and you can't deliver, problem. And then maybe you're not respecting your own boundaries, or you have not defined your own boundaries. All of these things can cause burnout because, again, it causes an imbalance in your life. It causes you to have to put everything into your business and not have enough time for all of the other things that you are juggling in life. And those things are important too. So the first one is to define your capacity. You must do this. Really, you should be doing that. Everybody should be doing this as soon as you start your business, right? What do you have time for? What do you have mental, physical, emotional capacity for? But the one that is measurable is going to be time. So this is what I use to actually define it. So you can do this by creating a time budget, I like to say. So listen, you've got 24 hours in a day. You got to sleep for 8 of those hours, or try at least budget in 8 hours of sleep. You've got to eat. You've got to spend time with your loved ones, or you want to spend time with your loved ones, and you should have some time in the day for you, whether that be an hour, 2 hours. I like to have like at least 2 hours a day that are for you. And for you could mean the time that you have calculated in for you to be scrolling on Instagram, or for you to read a book or go for a walk or whatever. But not scheduling in these times, even if it is just to scroll on Instagram, is not realistic. And if it's not realistic, it's not sustainable. And so it's not going to work out. Just make sure that you have figured out what time you have that you need to get other things done, and what time you have to be a virtual assistant. Now, in the time that you've budgeted for working or for building this business, you still need to schedule in or include time. I should stop saying scheduling. You should still budget in time for working on your business and not just working for clients in your business. Okay. So let's say you have 20 hours a week that you can put aside, or what is that? 4 times 5. You have 4 hours a day that you can put aside specifically for work. And that would be a really feasible goal for you. Put aside 30 minutes a day of that for you to work on your business. All right, hold on. That's 2.5 hours, right? Yeah. I'm good at math. Okay, so 2.5 hours out of the 20 hours are gone. Or we can let's just say 2 hours. 2 hours a week you have to use for working on your business. So that means you have 18 hours a week for clients. Now you know, just having done that time budget, you know, okay, this is the time that I have for my clients. So you can make it a limit or a goal, however you like to view it. But you can say, okay, my goal is to get 18 hours a week worth of client work. I work on monthly packages, so you would multiply that times 4. Listen, 80 minus 4 is 76. All right. Right, that's right. No, why would it be minus 4? Oh God, what did I say? 2 hours a week for work. 2 times 4 is 8. So 80 minus 8. 80 minus 8 is going to give you 72. I swear I'm smart. I swear. Okay, listen, with phones these days, you cannot tell me that you can do fast math, okay? Anyways, so you've got 72 hours a month, and that's your goal, to have 72 hours a month for client work. So now that you have your time budget, you can use that to assess and reassess what your needs are, right? Maybe you need more time to go towards family, or more time for yourself. Like you're not feeling it lately, and you just need to have like an hour extra to like meditate or whatever. Or you need more time to like cook extra meals, to do meal planning or something. I don't know. Now that you have this time budget, you are able to manipulate things a little bit more, and it allows for life to not get out of hand for you, right? Things can you can kind of like lose control of things when you're just like, oh my God, I just have all these things to do and I don't know how I'm going to get them done. How did I get all of these tasks and all this client work, and where do I go from here? No, time budget is telling you that you have this amount of work for your clients and this amount of time for your family. Let's figure out a solution. So in the case that you get closer to meeting your goal of your 72 hours a month, and you have a new inquiry that comes in and they're offering you, another 20 hours a month, you can ask yourself, okay, what do I want to do with this? Because this is over my time budget and I know that. And so I'm going to make a decision, but I'm going to make an intentional decision that makes sense for myself and my family and my business, as opposed to just going into yes land and then being in a state of overwhelm. So time. So number 2 for preventing burnout is to start really simple with the services that you offer. Again, this is another way to prevent yourself from saying yes to everything, right? We've got the time limits, so we can say no once we get to our time limits. And now we're talking about what services we're providing. So story time, when I first started, and actually I think it's still on my website this way, I was offering my administrative package, like basic administrative work, a content creation package, and then executive services, like higher level services. And I would get a lot of inquiries about content creation. And so I was doing a lot of content creation, but turns out I hate content creation, like don't like it at all. It is just an emotional drain for me. I hate it. So over time, after realizing I didn't like it, I would say yes to people about it. And then I would still learn again that I still don't like it. And so I've really just kind of cut that out. So because I know what services I don't like, I was able to eliminate that stuff. So if you're just starting out, or even if you're just reassessing your business, ask yourself, what are the things I'm really good at? And just like stick to those. Like if you just want to do basic administrative work, do basic administrative work. If you just want to do project management and you're really good at project management, just market project management. You can even have like multiple services that you offer, but make sure that you've assessed the services that you're offering and that they all make sense for you, that you are going to be happy doing those services. And the fewer that you have, that the more that you're able to hone in your services, the easier life is going to be for yourself. Okay. So if you don't want to do content creation, don't do content creation. If you are really good at content creation and you don't want to do customer support for clients, just do content creation and focus in on that. You're going to find, I think you'll find your clients easier that way, because they're not like, well, what are you doing? You're like, well, I do everything. They know exactly, people who are looking for this and that service, they know exactly what they need. And if you are speaking to their need, they're going to respond to you easier. So it actually helps with finding the right clients for you. But within the realm of burnout, it's going to help you not be in a space where you're doing services that you hate doing. And that is going to prevent burnout, because doing the services, doing tasks that you hate doing all the time is just a perfect formula for burnout. Okay, so number 3 is to build systems. Now, I know you just started your business. So like, what systems do you have? Well, you've got routines there are things that you're going to be doing repetitively from the beginning. And so you can create systems for that. The first one is you will definitely need to create a system for like your funnel for marketing to get your clients in, and then how to get your clients onboarded. Those 2 systems, marketing and onboarding, are the first ones that you should create. So make sure you have that. Make sure you have your pricing systemized as well. So I think that we think about, just deciding our prices, but that's a system as well. So your pricing, marketing, and your onboarding, get those done and make sure that they look clean and there's no doubt about them, okay? After you've done that, there are a bunch of other things that maybe don't feel super important at the beginning, because you're just starting out and you're just like doing the things that need to be done. But there are some things in your business that you can systemize. Your start of day, your close of day, these can be put into a system, meaning just a routine, right? System sounds kind of like official or like too much when you're first starting out maybe, but like a routine. And from there, you'll know just how you're starting your day. And having that basic flow of just your basic start of day, end of day systems is going to set you up to have really good efficiency in getting things done. So for example, your start of day, actually I like to start with the end of day. Your end of day is going to be a review of what you've done that day. If you have clients, that might include you sending a recap to the clients that need that. And that'll help you know what you've done as well. You might assess what things worked for the day, what things didn't work for the day, what things you needed to get to that day that you didn't. So you can put that at the top of your list for the next day, which moves me on to the open of day. Your open of day routine or system might include you doing reviewing the tasks that you need to get done. So the day before, at the end of day, you put the tasks that you didn't get done that day, and then maybe like one or two other priority tasks. You already have that. So now that you're starting your day, you don't have to come in and be like, oh, I got to choose what I need to do. Nope, it's already written out for you. So just review what you did last night, or I say last night because I work until midnight. Time change or difference in time between myself and the clients. I work at midnight. But yeah, do that so that way you have a very clear idea of what your day is supposed to look like without you having to constantly make a bunch of decisions. Okay. So those might be some systems that you have in place to begin with. And as you start doing things that are repetitive, you notice that, oh, I do that every day, or I do that every month or every week. Go ahead and just create a system. And a system is just a Google Doc that has like the little tabs on it. And each one is a different task, right? The start of day we just talked about, the end of day we talked about, onboarding should have one, and it's going to be a document where you explain step by step how that should work. It could be literally 5 bullet points for some of those, or it can be a full page document for some of them. But having that is going to be great, because fast forward to when you've got 5 clients and that new client is now asking for you to extend or go past your time budget, your capacity. Now you've got to start making decisions. Okay, I want to take this client. I'm really interested in this client. I think I might need to scale my business in order to help them. Scaling, the first step to scaling is just bringing on your first team member, right? So you are bringing on your first team member and you don't have anything to train them with because you've never had to train anybody. Well, this document that we're talking about now is your training document. So you can share that document with them, or share the parts that are important, whatever, or use it to create I use my SOPs. They're called SOPs, your system standard operating procedures. I use that document from Google and I transferred it over to Asana, so they have access, my team member has access to it, and they know exactly what needs to be done. So you're saving yourself trouble in the future when you do start growing your business and you need to train somebody. You're saving yourself trouble if you need someone to step in and help you out because you need to be gone for like maternity leave. Just start it now. Review, reassess things like once a month. Like, okay, is there anything else I need to put into that I can systemize, that I can create an SOP for, standard operating procedure? Ask yourself, do it really quick, and you're done. I'm telling you, like, having gone through training somebody while I was pregnant and having to figure out how to like relinquish control over my business for 2 months, I'm telling you, please do this now so you don't have to go through what I've gone through, okay? This is probably the one I regretted the most not having done when I was in this transitional stage of my life. Number 4. Okay, so you got to protect your energy. Big one, big, important thing to do. The reason why is because you are going to be asked to do things all the time. And if you say yes to everything, you are going to what? Burn out. So it is important that you have your boundaries. Look, we've already started establishing them. We've got our capacity with the time budget, and we've also defined the services that we are willing to do, and also the services that we are not willing to do. So one big way to protect your energy is, first of all, learning how to say no. You have these tasks that you are able to do. You have this amount of time that you're able to do it in, and anything outside of that might be a no. You have to make that decision. Another way that you can protect your energy is really establishing your time frame of when you're working. And so with that start of day and end of day routine, that's a really great way to protect your energy, because one of the things that you'll be doing at the end of day is sending updates to your clients about what you've done. And that can count as like an end of day communication, meaning I've done these things and I'm leaving. goodbye. Okay. So you're not in a traditional situation where you're clocking in and out, but this is you communicating to your client that I'm gone for the day. Along with that, making sure that your communication standards are very clear, that you will contact them or respond to them if they're sending you messages outside of the time of days that you work, that you will respond to them within this specific time frame. That's important because if you get into the habit of responding to them on the weekends or after 5 o'clock, whenever you stop working, they will get into the habit of expecting you to do that. The whole point is that you make sure that your actions are in line with what your boundaries are. That's the big key right there. So preserving your energy by making sure that you have boundaries on your communication, and that you have boundaries on what you say yes and no to. And then you have those routines, some of those systems in place that will help you create boundaries for yourself that allow you to put your energy where it needs to go, when it needs to go there. Remember, the whole point of you becoming a virtual assistant is to be able to provide for your family and have a career that works for you while you're also able to live your life. It's not the other way around. Your life, you as a human being, is the priority here, not the job. So make sure that you keep them separate and you keep them organized so that you're able to maintain that soft life. Piece of advice. I think I've already said that one was my biggest piece of advice, but this one is a big one too. Create support for yourself. Create support. This is huge. So when you're first starting out, maybe that support means, hey, I need my mom to come over so I can record content. She's in the other room and she can stay with the baby, right? Maybe that support looks like, hey, I need to do a co-working time so that way I can get some stuff done and I just need to feel motivated. So you have other people that are working from home or working for themselves or whatever, and you go work with them and you're feeding off of their energy. Later down the line, that may be, hey, I need to hire somebody to help support me in some of these tasks that I need to get done. They can do the things that are less specialized while you do the things that are more specialized, the things that people hired you for, the reasons that people hired you as opposed to someone else. You do those tasks and let someone else do the tasks that are a little bit less specialized. So there's a lot of different ways to find support, and you can start finding it as soon as you start. Don't wait as soon as you start your business. Don't wait until you are in a state of overwhelm, you are burnt out, you don't know what to do, you can't even think clearly enough to figure out how to fix the situation. Do it now. Figure out where you can find support, where you could solve little problems now so that way they don't become big problems later in your business. So these are the 5 big keys on how to prevent burnout. Let's go from, so these little actions will have a huge impact on your business if you are starting your business. And again, if you are just already in your business and you haven't done these things already, or you're not already practicing these things, really consider doing that because, like I said, the only thing constant in life is change. And so there will come a time where your business cannot be the priority on your brain or in your life. And you will use these habits to make things easier when that moment comes for you. I hope that this was helpful. If you do find my content helpful, feel free to like it and follow me and turn on your notifications so you know whenever I post a new video. Also, guys, tell me below, what are some things that you have done in regards to preventing burnout? Also, if you have gone on maternity leave, tell me your story. I want to know about people who own businesses and who have gone on maternity leave. It was just such a roller coaster for me that I need to hear from other people so I can help heal myself from that trauma. And if you have any questions, put them down below and I will be so happy to help, so happy to answer and maybe make a video on them. Have a great day and I will see you in the next one. Bye.